On this episode of the Best of Bias Podcast, I'm back. You guys, don't worry. I know, you know what I know. So I ain't gonna get into it, but we back this week to do some things. We got a lot to talk about, you know what I'm saying? And we got a guest today, so that's gonna be extra special for y'all. We got Chelsea in the building to talk some pop culture, but I'm gonna ramble through some sports. There's some sporting events happening right now, some stuff that happened in the past couple of weeks ago that I haven't talked to y'all about, and I want to talk to y'all about it for a little bit if I can. Yes. We got NFL draft to talk about, NBA playoffs, Haney versus Ryan Garcia, some little stipulations with that. Tyson and Jake Paul. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in the sports world. Then we can get into some pop culture with Chelsea, talk some shit too. But it's the Best of Bias podcast. It's Friday. I'm happy to be here with y'all, and I know y'all missed me. So let's get right into it. No long talking. We got some beef tracks to talk about. We did some diss tracks. Let's talk beef today. Pause. But it's the Best of Bias podcast. Where that theme song at? It's right here. You know that.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. It's the best of bias.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell, and it's time for me to go in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while. It feels like a long while. Whenever I don't get in this chair and talk to y'all about current events and I got some shit on my chest, I feel like it's been forever and I feel heavy. You know what I'm saying? Not that since I'm losing weight, you know what I mean? Like colossal, you know? No Lil Wayne, but hey, it's Friday. We made it to the end of the week. You know, stress from the work week is done. Time to relax, kick your feet up, and listen to your favorite podcast. You know where you're at. You know my name. It's Light Up there. If you don't, if you're new, welcome to the Best of Bias podcast, where we talk about a little bit of everything. We don't want to be leaving nothing off the table. Whatever you want to talk about, we're probably gonna be talking about it. If you have a bias about something, bring it to the table. Let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about it all: sports, pop culture, movies, anything, everything will get discussed. And we here today. And we talking today. Let me get into some sports because we do want to get in Chelsea in this second half of the pod. So sorry, fellas. You're going to have to relax a little bit. And you're going to have to hear me talk about sports before I get in here to talk a little bit about pop culture, what's going on, maybe some springtime plans. I want to get a female's perspective on this beef, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the women love Drake, women love Kendrick Lamar, women love Chris, people love Quavo. There's a lot of stuff out here to get a women's perspective on. We hear a lot of guys yip-yapping on the pods and on the social sphere about the hip-hop beef, but I haven't really heard the women's perspective. That's a little later. I got my handy-dandy towel today again, too, because I don't know. Sorry, again, if you hear a little hum in this one, if you hear the hum of the fan, I apologize. It's really hot up here. I have to have some kind of fan going, because if not, I'm gonna melt, and y'all don't want to hear or look at a chocolate puddle just sitting there talking to you. So I got to do what I can. I'm sorry. This will be the only time I'll find out some alternate ways. And if you guys can't even hear it, forget I even said nothing. I ain't no fan on if y'all can't even hear it. But let's get into it. Let me first and foremost, thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys had a good week again. It's the weekend now. Let's breathe. If you're still got to go to work today, hopefully this can get you through the first couple of hours. I'm not gonna be here for a couple of hours, but just, you know what I mean? Just get you through that first couple of hours of work. If it's after work, getting you ready to go wherever you want to go. If you partying, if you staying in, getting ready to do something, listen to your boy. I know people out there listening to podcasts. I'm looking at you. You know, you that listen to podcasts all the time, but you randomly clicked on this one. And where have you been? Especially the homies. Yeah. But let's start off. Let's see what I got firstly on the docket. Let's talk NBA playoffs, because you already know what the Nuggets doing. You already know what I'm repping right now. Playoffs is in full effect. I'm gonna start with the West, because that's pretty much what I'm representing. The Western Conference all day. Eastern Conference, we're just looking at as who we playing in the championship. So we ain't gotta worry about them in the playoffs at the moment, but I'll talk about them in a second. Nuggets, Lakers series. I haven't talked to you guys during the whole thing, because me personally, when it comes to Nuggets in the playoffs, I'm zero dark 30 with it. You know what I'm saying? Taking that from Bron. I may post something after the game, but during the game, before the games, you're not going to hear me talk much about it, unless you're listening to the pod and I have like little early predictions on in-game breakdowns and stuff like that. But I'm not the one to go out on a limb and be like, my team is this and my team is that, like the Lakers fans out there that was in my inbox and on my team's community page talking shit just because the Lakers can't beat the Nuggets 13-1 in the last 14 games. Darvin Ham, I don't know. They're using you as a scapegoat, but the roster, I think Rob Pelinka is a little bit more responsible. Jeannie Buss, I mean, I don't know, maybe Jeannie Buss as far as letting LeBron do whatever he wants as far as roster construction. Rob Pelinka not getting the right players that he needs to get, spending a little bit more money or doing more of what he could to. I know their situation with the draft picks and stuff weren't always optimal, so they had to do with what they could. But I mean, I don't know. It just seems like the construction of the roster was pretty much the same as last year. And they made it to the Western Conference Finals through the play-in, which is still kind of fluky. Fluky. Still, I don't, did they were in the play-in last year, right? I believe so. And beat the Warriors, but it's like the team's construction isn't really made, I guess, well to face the Nuggets. I guess they were constructed enough to beat the other top teams on the West, like OKC or maybe a Minnesota, just from experience alone and just having the vets. But the Nuggets, having seen them so many times, Western Conference Finals in 2020, big situations, playoffs, like last year in the Western Conference Finals. Then we play them this year, first round. It's like, once you play a team a certain amount of times, you kind of figure them out, especially if you're the more dominant team. It's like you end up having their number after a while, not talking shit, because you will never hear me talk shit like that. Because me personally, I was one of the people that didn't want to play. If you heard me, me being a fan of the Nuggets, I was saying I don't want to play Lakers or Warriors first, just because of what it brings. It brings the fans, the hate, for the Nuggets, and it also brings the referees, just for the all-stars and the super stalwarts of the playoffs still being in there and just trying to keep them in there because, as I'm going to say in a little bit, it's like a lot of the superstars are actually out of this year's playoffs. So a lot of the well-known superstars anyway, a lot of the emerging ones are there now. The people just breaking the cusp of superstardom are the ones that are still left. But anyways, the playoff series is over now. The Lakers won, The Lakers won one game. The Nuggets won in 5. People thought it was going to be a sweep because the Nuggets went up 3-0, as you guys were seeing as we watched Jokic do his thing. We did not play a good series at all. Michael Porter Jr. and Jokic kind of carried us through the whole thing. There was ups and downs from a lot of other players. KCP, especially Jamal, he was really down. He had of course, the series had 2 game winners, 1 buzzer beater and 1 game winner. But it's like, the whole series, he was playing down, shooting a really low percentage, not really scoring. He would take like a whole half to get warmed up. And then the second half, he kind of did what he needed to do to close the game or make the last shot. Jokic was putting up monumental numbers. Aaron Gordon had a great game against the Lakers, but he's up and down always. So you can't really expect that. But somebody that I really do respect and I cannot be more happy about his progression is Michael Porter Jr. I think he averaged like 20 points and like 10 rebounds in that series, out there playing defense. He used to be somebody that everybody targeted in on the opposite team's offense and just go at Michael Porter Jr. This year. He was playing D. I mean, he'll still get fouls here and there, but he's actually not scared to play D, and he's doing his best, and I like that. And as long as you can contribute 20 points, you know what I'm saying? We have at least 3 20-plus point scorers, we can win games like that. You know what I mean? So that's all we've ever wanted from Michael Porter Jr. after winning the championship last year. I think kind of opened his eyes to what he could be. We can be the next dynasty if we really get our minds right and we play to our best capabilities. You know what I'm saying? Knock on wood. But we're a really good team. I'm not saying we're the best ever. I'm not saying that we can beat anybody all the time. We're sweeping everybody. But I think our construction and watching this team over the last couple of years, Michael Malone has been with us for about 8 years, 9 years, about to be the winningest coach in Nuggets history before his career is done. It's just a lot of ups and downs, a lot of steady growth. And I like where we're at now. You know what I'm saying? We're the apex predator. People are trying to take our food, but we're doing the best we can to hold them off. And we stepped up to the plate every time. In the first round, we did that, and we're moving on. The Timberwolves in the first round played the Pelicans, and everybody saw Zion get hurt against the Lakers in the play-in. So he wasn't available for that series, which contributed in them getting swept by Minnesota. Anthony Edwards looking really good. Everybody's looking at him as the new face of the league, you know what I mean? Just because he is one of the American players that is showing that he got game no matter what, going at everybody, even with Karl Anthony Towns out for a significant amount of time. He was able to still have his team stay in third place, fluctuating from first, second, and third all year. And he has that confidence, that bravado that everybody really likes and gravitates towards, and the young kids kind of, he's Michael Jordan-esque, and the older heads are looking for the next Jordan to show their kids this is what Jordan was like type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on the Bron hype, Steph Curry hype, but everybody in the past, they relish Michael Jordan so much. I feel like this will get the young kids and the older heads to kind of look at him like that's Mike Jr. right there. Rumors aside, you feel me? But yeah, so the Timberwolves will be playing the Nuggets next round. I'll probably talk more about that series as it starts up this Saturday. So by next week, I'll have a couple of games under my belt ready to talk to y'all about. But it's one of the two teams in a row that I was kind of feeling kind of skeptical about. But since the Suns are out of the playoffs now, and it's just Minnesota and whoever wins Clippers Dallas against OKC, the playing field to get to the Western Conference Finals is going to be. It's going to be lightened, and it's going to come down to experience, and we're going to see who actually can do it because we've done it. And you know what I'm saying? Hopefully that experience helps us prevail. Again, the Suns played. Who did the Suns play? The Suns played. No, actually, the Suns played the Timberwolves. Yeah. And the Pelicans got swept by OKC. That's what it was. My bad, y'all. My bad. Yeah, so the Suns got swept by Anthony Edwards, which made and the Timberwolves, which made it more cool because everybody thought with Booker, Beal, and Katie together this year that they're just going to walk through the playoffs and just be the super team to win it all. But Anthony Edwards walked them down, talked shit to Katie the whole way, and what I'm saying, took his food. So we're going to see what happens when this, took care of our light work for us because I was afraid of the Suns too. So the Timberwolves beating the Suns and coming to play us next round is going to be one of our biggest challenges yet. And we're going to see what that has to hold. But OKC did sweep the Pelicans again. Zion got hurt. And then OKC was just a little too deep for the Pelicans without Zion and the firepower. And Ingram didn't really get back from his injury. So he was still kind of hurt a lot of the times and not really contributing as much. And CJ McCollum as well, kind of like he was on fire seemingly at during the regular season. And then once the playoffs hit and Zion came out and started balling, he kind of fell off a cliff in a way. So it's interesting, but they got swept as well. So now we're just waiting on the West Coast, the Western Conference for the Dallas Mavericks and the Clippers series to finish. Dallas is winning that series 3-2. And that's a series full of stars. You got on the Clipper side, James Harden, Paul George. Kawhi actually hasn't played this series, but you got Westbrook as well. But all the pieces they do have on that team against Luka, Kyrie, and all like newly acquired pieces with Gafford and PJ Washington, and the people they have coming off their bench. So it's been a good series so far. We saw a lot of lopsided games. I think last game, the Dallas Mavericks won by 30 to take advantage in the series 3-2. But the game before that, the Clippers won by like 20 when Luka was sick or hurt or one of the two. But it seems like it's going to go 7, man. This game, they're going back and forth, back and forth. I don't think there's really a home court advantage when it comes to these teams. I think it's just whoever's hot on any given day can make it happen. And I think it's going to go down to the wire. It's going to be cool to see, but I hope they don't get too tired to play OKC because I would like to see one of them beat OKC. If I want to see anybody in the Western Conference Finals, I want to see Dallas just because if we lost to Dallas, I wouldn't be mad about them winning the championship. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie and Luka, that would be kind of cool. But nah, they ain't going to beat us anyway. I ain't going to give them no love. But on the East side, we had the Celtics just finished beating the Miami Heats 4-1. Miami Heat didn't have Jimmy Butler, didn't have who else? Terry Rozier. They didn't have, I think Duncan Robinson got hurt. So, yeah, everybody on that team was hurt, and they're playing the Celtics, who I think they lost Porzingis to Achilles. They don't know how bad it is yet, but the Celtics have been great all year, beating the next team in the Eastern Conference by like 12 to 20 games. I don't know. So they're pretty much going to probably walk through the East unless, this next series, which the number 2 seed, the New York Knicks, who are playing right now against Philly, are leading that series 3-2. And Embiid is on one leg. But Philly still do got some pieces. Maxey, Tobias Harris, of course. They got Buddy Hield now, some bench players that can do some stuff. And then, of course, you on the New York side, you have a bunch of injuries as well, but the Villanova boys are holding it down. Hart, Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, you know what I'm saying? All the utility pieces there. Bogdanovich is over there now too, I believe. So they're all balling out, man. It's going to be a good series. This one may go 7 as well. It's 3-2. They're playing in Philly right now. If Philly can take advantage of the home court advantage right now and take it back to Washington or to New York for a game 7, that should be interesting. I'm not too sure what the Celtics and Magic series is at right now. I think the Celtics are up. It might be 3-2 Celtic or 3-2 Cavaliers, if I'm not mistaken. I should check that. Why am I not checking it? Let me see. Sheesh. The Chargers just signed DJ Chark. Golly. Let's see. Tomorrow. Yeah, the series is 3-2 Cavaliers, and that game comes on tomorrow. So I think the winner of that game plays New York, the winner of New York and Philly. And I think the Celtics are going to play the winner of I think they're gonna play the people that just beat just lost. Oh yeah, so I think the Pacers are gonna play the Boston Celtics, and then if Philadelphia or New York win, they play the winner of the Cavaliers and the Magic. So that's kind of a light pack. I think the Celtics are gonna walk through that fairly easily, but we're gonna see. But yeah, we're gonna see the playoffs are going on now. You already know how I feel about it. I feel like the Nuggets are gonna win it, but we're gonna see round by round. We have to go. First round has been a doozy, a lot of ups and downs. And yeah, we thought we was gonna sweep the Lakers, but we ended up being a gentleman's sweep. But everybody else in the West got swept, so we had to make it fast, or else everybody's gonna be sitting there getting all the rest in the world while they wait for us to finish. But everybody in the West is pretty much. I don't think we're gonna wait for the Clippers in the Dallas series. I guess OKC just gets as much rest as it takes for them to get done. But all the other series probably may start really soon. Well, Celtics and Pacers are going to start, and I know that tomorrow's outcome may have the opponent of the Knicks or the Philly. Well, the Knicks can win today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have more next week about the basketball stuff. But as far as the NFL draft goes, I'm gonna go pretty quick on this one because we have to get Chelsea in here. So NFL draft, I'm gonna talk about the Bucks pretty much. You know what I'm saying? The draft was crazy. First round was pretty much all. First 14 picks were all offensive players. Quarterbacks are flying off the board. We saw Caleb go number 1, Jalen Daniels go number 2. We saw Drake May actually went to the Patriots, was a good pickup for them. The surprise, though, Michael Penix going to the Falcons at 8, which was nuts because they just signed Kirk Cousins to a $1 million deal. Then my boy Bo Nix went to the Broncos, you know what I'm saying? And they also drafted Troy Franklin, so that's all good, bro. But the Eagles, man, the Eagles, Rams, a lot of people had some great drafts. I don't know. The boards were crazy this year. I don't know if a lot of people were just like kind of falling on people's boards or people just going after certain people, but all the top defensive prospects really dropped due to everybody wanting the offensive prospects that I guess they valued more, they had needs for more. But it seemed like the Philadelphia Eagles, the Pittsburgh Steelers just cleaned up all the top prospects as they fell. Like, how the hell the Eagles get Quinyon Mitchell and bruh from Iowa, that corner, I forgot his name. Was it not Laporta? What's his name? Whatever his name is, that corner from Iowa. They're able to pick up everybody like on the back end, on top of everybody they picked up in free agency. I don't know why they have unlimited money or why they're able to do things that people don't see or take players with high potential. Maybe they have red flags on these players, or I don't know what it is, but the Eagles always seem to steal. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they got Peyton Wilson, or yeah, it was Peyton Wilson. Yeah, that linebacker that dropped from NIU, I believe he was a hitter, hella fast, like ran like a 4.4, 6'2", like, and people, I guess his medicals were bad, so he fell. But you know what I'm saying? The draft was cool. A lot of receivers, Adunze going to the Bears with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore was crazy. Malik Neighbors, the Giants got a receiver, even though they should have drafted a quarterback, but they didn't trade up to get one. That was interesting of them. I know Neighbors is probably mad. Keon Coleman going to the Bills in the second round. The Bills lost Stephon Diggs. They didn't have a receiver. Seeing them not go for one in the first round was interesting. But let me talk about the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? We drafted a center in the first round, got Baker some protection, which was amazing. We needed to increase our line. Our line has been kind of, no, I wouldn't say terrible because we can throw the ball. It's just we weren't able to run the ball for the last 3 years at all. We drafted a nasty center to replace Ryan Jensen. He retired this year. And we also got a left guard, I believe, in free agency, a couple of guards in free agency. We drafted a 6th round guard that dropped. I don't know if it was from Toledo. It was from a small school, but he dropped due to some medical concerns, but he was a nasty guard as well. So at left tackle, we got Tristan Wirfs. We got a left guard. Hopefully we got a competition of, you know what I'm saying, either Hansy or who's going to play left guard? I think left guard maybe No. I think he's right guard. So yeah, I think left guard is going to be a competition between Hainsey and that new lineman we drafted. We have Barton's going to be, he's going to be our center. Our right guard is Cody Monk, that we drafted a couple of years ago, and our right tackle is going to be Luke Gadecki. And we drafted a whole bunch of other guys that can fill in. We have a bunch of utility pieces there. In second round, we took a pass rusher. Why is his name slipping me? And it's not Turner. What's the other guy's name from from Alabama, the edge rusher. Why is his name slipping my mind? I know this nigga's name. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Um, let's see. Oh, our running back though. Don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started on our backfield. Now we drafted Bucky Irving from Oregon in the fourth round at running back. Third round, who else? We dropped Jalen McMillan from Washington, which was interesting to me. One of the three guys out of Polk, Odunze, and McMillan, all at Washington, that were helping Penix out there get to the national championship. We got McMillan to be our third receiver, which is dope. Let me see. What's his freaking name? It's gonna piss me off. Oh yeah, there you go. Braswell. Braswell. So he was on the other side of Dallas Turner over there at Alabama. And Braswell, he was a high-rated prospect out of high school and got like 8 sacks last year and like a whole bunch of tackles for loss. Of course, the guy Dallas Turner, the higher-rated end rusher from Alabama, got all the double teams and stuff and took a lot of the blocks on the right side. But you know, he was able to beat his one-on-ones and get hella good plays. Like Braswell is nice. And then we got a nickel safety, Tyke Smith from Georgia. Todd Bowles' son he plays football at Georgia, so he knows him pretty well. He's a nickel corner that can hit like a safety, play in the box, nasty. Then of course Bucky Irving to be back there with Rashad White. They can both catch out of the backfield, run between the tackles, break tackles, shake the shit out of people. They're gonna be so nice, bro. They're gonna be so nice when McMillan, Godwin, Trey Palmer, and Mike Evans. Oh my God. Then we drafted another tight end from Washington. So we have 2 Washington tight ends, K. Dotton and young Culp, 2 big ass people. Culp can block. Oh my God. Our draft was amazing. And to be predicted to finish second in our division to the Falcons, who didn't really draft nobody really, drafted a backup quarterback to a quarterback they already had. And then their draft was terrible. Draft was terrible. The Saints drafted Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah. And they drafted Spencer Rattler. Okay. It doesn't matter. They lost hella players. Man, we got everything we needed. There's a couple of corners still in free agency, fill that spot. We got a safety, pretty much in Tyke Smith that can play nickel. We already had Jordan Whitehead back. We still got, I think KJ Britt can play our inside linebacker to the fact that we don't need to draft one. Levante David's back. And our line is full of dogs. Our defensive line, Kalijah Chauncey, Vita Vea. We just drafted Braswell. We got who else on the other side? Yaya Diaby. JTS is still out there. Logan Hall is still out there. We still got Will Golston. Pat O'Connor. That rotation is going to be nasty. I'm telling you. And that's going to give all our DBs a back end. You already know about Antoine Winfield. We still got Jamel Dean. Zion McCullum got to step up. Izzian, I think he might be a backup nickel. But we're going to be nice, man. We're going to be nice. I think we're going to win our division for the 4th time in a row. So I don't know what they was talking about. But you know what I'm saying? Corum going to the Rams, Jared Verse going to the Rams, and Fisk going to the Rams. The Rams are always sneaky good in the draft. Shout out them. I didn't really understand the 49ers draft that much. Not really much at all. I know the Cowboys late round, I think 3rd round, he might have took one of the pass rushers we wanted to take out of a small school. I forgot what his name was. But overall, the draft was pretty cool. I sat there and watched all of it. It started on Thursday this week. The first round was Thursday of this year. And then the second, third round was Friday and had the rest of it Saturday. So that was still cool. Usually they did it all weekend, but it gave us a free day on Sunday to focus on basketball and stuff. So it was cool. It was a cool little draft. Hopefully your team picks somebody good. But me personally, Baker Mayfield's winning NFC South. So we'll see y'all in the playoffs pretty much. You know what I'm saying? It's all going to depend on what seed y'all get. You feel me? But I'll talk more about that as mini camps come up and a lot more shit is solidified in the NFL. But the draft was cool. You got to check it out. Haney versus Garcia. I don't know if you guys saw that. Man, we all hyped it up. We all thought it was going to be a good fight. And I believe everybody thought Haney was going to win. For some reason, I think everybody thought Haney was going to win soundly, and for the fact that he got beat up like he did was very interesting. To the lead up of the fight, we thought Ryan Garcia was a little unhinged, maybe doing some drugs out there, being a little mentally unstable. But it seemed like he wasn't going to be ready to fight. Devin Haney was going to walk through him, but he sold the fight. People were coming to see him get beat up, but you know Ryan Garcia went out there. He did miss weight though, so it didn't really after that happened. You know, people didn't really think it mattered much, but if he beat Haney, Haney could still lose his belt. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it got a little weird. Haney in the first round got rocked and almost knocked out. So for that fact that happened, everybody was already like, oh shit, this fight might be a little different than we suspected. And then, as the rounds went by, Haney was scoring points, grabbing a lot, scoring points, thinking he taking a lot of rounds, to be honest. But then after a while, Ryan Garcia started tagging Haney some more with some combos. That left hand is dangerous. Everybody was saying it. And he kept throwing it. And Haney kept getting caught by it. He got knocked down almost like 3 times in one round. But the ref only gave Ryan Garcia one knockdown, and I don't know what they were saying was happening, but Haney was falling down. And then like in the 11th, I think Ryan Garcia scored another knockdown. So that's like 2 knockdowns. And he was striking them. He was winning some rounds with those knockdowns, you know what I'm saying? But the 12th round, Haney was able to recover and kind of fight it out, score some points to make it seem a little more even. And people thought possibly that Haney could have won based on scoring those points and Ryan not doing as much work in some of the rounds that he should have to solidify the fight. Because we did see one of the scorecards come out that was a draw, which kind of intrigued a lot of people. But as we went to the other scorecards, we saw that, Garcia did enough to win. I think it was unanimous decision for sure for Ryan Garcia, obviously. But he did win, negated the belt, but it came out a little bit after, man. Everybody was down on Haney talking shit, trying to see who Ryan Garcia should fight next. Should it be Davis again, Tank again? Should it be Shakur? Should it be this guy? Should it be that guy? And then for it to come out a little bit later that he was taking PEDs. Me personally, I don't know how that could happen. How could the PED allegations or the finding of the PEDs come out after the fight? That's kind of weird. That's potentially dangerous, right? So if somebody could take some PEDs, go fight and kill somebody, then after the fact, like, oh shit, he took PEDs to make him hella stronger. My bad. Like, nah, you guys had to have known that he tested positive for stuff before weigh-ins type shit. I don't know how it goes for boxing, but it just seems kind of fishy. You know what I'm saying? Since Haney lost and Garcia didn't make weight, and he's still losing his belt, we're just gonna say he was on PEDs so he can get a rematch when he makes weight and actually officially fight for it. Like, that seems kind of fishy. So I hope that's not what's at play. I hope if he did take PEDs, this gets handled the right way. He gets suspended or whatever, and Haney gets his belt back to fight somebody else. That would be something. But I hope the belt's not vacated just because he took PEDs. It's just kind of weird. I gotta get AKA on here to talk some boxing with me because I don't really know the rules like that, but it seems as though it would be, I don't know. But before we get into pop culture, I wanted to talk one more guy, man. Let's give a round of applause. I'm gonna do a silent one so I don't clap in your ear for Reggie Bush, man. Reggie Bush got his Heisman back recently, man. Everybody was clamoring for it with the introduction of these NIL deals and stuff like that. Hold on, Chelsea's texting me. Gotta tell her I'm talking to y'all. Yeah, ever since the NIL deals started happening, people that were getting paid in the past and getting in trouble for it, the Cam Newtons of the world, the Johnny Manziels of the world, of course, the Reggie Bushes of the world, that were using the money to take care of their families or whatever, just better for the betterment of themselves. Of course, these NCAA and these college systems were taking advantage of these kids, you know what I'm saying? So they feel like they should get a part of it. Now they're realizing that in 2024, 2023, 2024, and paying these kids. And now that these kids, these top tier recruits are making millions of dollars and able to sustain and just have a life after college, even if they don't make the NFL or whatever sport they're going into, the NCAA was like, okay, let's give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. Let's now just give him this after years and years and years of scrutiny and putting his name next to something that is so negative after him being so dynamic. He's like one of the most incredible college football players I've ever seen in my life, dog. If you haven't seen highlights of Reggie Bush at USC, stop what you're doing right now and go watch that shit because it's the craziest shit you'll probably ever see. Barry Sanders, and then you'll see Reggie Bush. It's like, people should be out there juking people saying Reggie, because him, oh my God, that national championship between USC and Texas probably has to go down as one of the craziest, most hyped games that'll probably ever be. And just go watch Reggie Bush. So I just want to say congratulations to him for getting his Heisman back. And yeah, man, that's all I got for sports right now. Let me go to a quick commercial break. Then we'll get Chelsea on here to talk some of this pop culture and just talk about a little bit of life before we get you out of here. Let y'all know what we're watching right now. Talk a little rap beef. And we'll be right back. It's the Best of Bias Podcast. Your boy Lydell. Hey, I had to get the sports out of the way before we got Chelsea on here. But she coming. Hey, we out of here. Yeah, real quick. Be right back. What it do? We back in this thing. We talking pop culture, and look who it is. Look who we got in the building. You know her, you love her, we all love her. It's Chelsea Shuck in the building. What's up, girl?
Hello, hello.
How are you today?
Great. How are you?
I'm living life. It's Friday. Well, you know what I mean. It's Friday, and we made it to the end of the work week or the work, the beginning of the work day just started Friday, whatever you guys are doing. I'm just happy to talk to the people, happy to be here talking with you because we got some stuff to talk about. I don't really have people on that often anymore. So for the fact that there's somebody here that I can bounce ideas and get opinions off of, it's so great. How are you? How are you mentally? Are you in a good space? I just want to make sure your mental health is good before we get into some bullshit. You feel me?
I am great. I'm back in the gym, eating right, meal prepping. So we're good. All
Hell
around.
yeah. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And tell Kylo I said hi. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's around here somewhere we're doing something.
He locked
Uh,
in right now, but yeah.
okay. So we about to take all this positive energy stuff we're talking about, and we're gonna get negative right now. Are you ready for some negativity? It's beef time. It's beef o'clock if you guys
What?
ain't heard. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since I talked about it. Last week I didn't have a pod. So I kind of have to talk a little bit right now. I talked about Like That. You've heard Like That, right? The Metro Boomin, Future, and of course the Kendrick track. So
Yep.
we kind of dabbled into the history of Kendrick Lamar and Drake and why they're dissing each other. And it was really reignited when Like That came out.
Mhm.
Firstly, what do you think about some of the stuff that Kendrick Lamar was saying about Drake and Like That? I haven't really gotten girls' perspective. I know because girls love Drake. I don't know how girls feel about Kendrick Lamar. So it could be a jaded opinion. I just want to know how you feel. How do you feel about the whole thing?
So actually, like lyrically, I like Kendrick better. Although Kendrick did bring up pretty much everything everybody else had already said about Drake. So it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't like his disses weren't as funny. Like BBL Drake was mad funny. So like if it was something more like that, I think I would have been more into it. But
Right.
lyrically, no, yeah, I think that lyrically he's always gonna beat Drake. Like Drake has the bops for the females or the males or whatever, but
It's
lyrically, I think Kendrick took it.
I think it's just kind of weird because it started with like that Kendrick kind of went off on J. Cole and Drake, kind of like showing that kind of like trying to separate itself as number one, kind of like fuck you guys, like there ain't no big three, it's just big me type shit. He just kind of scratched the surface of like fuck you guys type shit. And the song went number one. So I think that that in itself kind of hurt Drake's ego. Me personally, I'm a Drake fan. And again, I say this every time I talk about this topic. I don't want to sound anti-Drake at all. But some of the times I kind of feel like the way that Drake moves is really cocky, really bully-ish. And it's like, I'm the man, nobody can do shit that I can. And if I feel like picking on somebody, I'm gonna pick on him and just destroy that person. He's
Yeah.
done it to a lot of people. He wasn't able to do it to Pusha T, but Pusha T doesn't have a biggest fan base as some of these other guys, so people don't really give a fuck about Pusha T like that. I'm not saying I don't, but a lot of his fans out there don't give a fuck about Pusha T. But it's kind of good to see some of these bigger artists kind of pushing back and kind of being able to kind of stand their ground. I know the internet is just always going to be on Drake's side no matter what. It's just kind of crazy for people to even kind of comment saying that Kendrick Lamar's raps were bad. Like how?
I don't think he was bad. Although I did find Drake's story where he quoted 10 Things I Hate About You and posted that video. That was lightweight funny because
Yeah,
part of what he said was like, I hate this, I hate that, I hate that. So, like, that was lightweight funny. But
yeah.
other than that, it was just like repetitive. But I do think Kendrick has better bars in general.
And it's just kind of more, it's like a more comedic feel. It's kind of his like pronunciation of things and his he goes through this voice fluctuation where it sounds like he's going through puberty sometimes and how he pronounces words. I like the comicness of it, like the comedy aspect. Drake's dropping Give Me 50 and all those songs, just saying, calling him a size 7.5 foot stepper. And all that shit is really, really cool. I really like that as well. I just feel like people know where to hurt Drake in a way. It's just feel like an industry type shit that people don't like him behind the scenes because of stuff that's happening in the industry. He probably does get a lot of favoritism just for the fact that he is Drake and gets a lot of more opportunities that a lot of these other rappers don't get. I don't know if you would call it jealousy, maybe jealousy. But I feel like Drake is so petty that he would just kind of be the kind of guy that talks shit about being so successful and having connections that people don't have, you know?
Cocky as hell.
And it's always about women. It's always going to be about women.
Always.
I feel like a lot of the beef that he has besides Kendrick Lamar is about women. The Rick Ross, the Metro Boomin, even Future, they probably are all girl related. The beef that he had with Chris Brown, we'll talk about Chris Brown in a second, but he had beef with Chris Brown over a woman. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of stuff going on over women, and just seeing where Drake came from and where he is now. It's just a lot to be attacked, and a lot of stuff that Drake said or Kendrick Lamar said on Euphoria. I feel that is kind of a way that people feel. I kind of feel like a lot of stuff he said, people feel that way, that are really big hip hop heads that are deep in the game, rather than the kind of younger people that came up in our generation and a little bit younger. I feel like they have a different idea about Drake, and he's been able to hide behind a lot of the younger people that no matter what happens to Drake or what's said about Drake, they don't care. They don't care.
Agreed. I feel like a lot of his fans nowadays too don't even remember like Degrassi, like Drake type shit. Like they don't remember like how he was before. I mean, his come up is crazy, and I do fuck with his music. I went to his concert, but
Drake is amazing.
He is a little bit more on the sensitive side, I guess, versus everything else. But I did, contrary to popular belief, I did like Kendrick's a little bit better flow wise. What he was saying, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but like his flow was actually a lot better than Drake's.
Yeah, for sure. And Drake personally, as a person, I don't know. I mean, I like Lil Wayne so much, so I can never say anything bad about Drake just because of the biggest fan I am about Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't think highly of me talking shit about this man. I'm just kidding. But I don't know. He just really. What if he's broken up marriages? What if he's like slept with your wife? Don't you think you can have the right to put out a diss track without being victimized or, without
100%?
And I think that kind of shit happens. Like freaking Drake sitting tickets to Rick Ross's ex-girlfriend to sit front row at that's petty and worthy of a diss track.
100%.
You know what I mean? And it's like people are looking at it through, I call it Drake colored glasses, because they feel like he can do no wrong. It's like all these people don't like him for a reason. It's not all just the opportunity. And I like Drake too. I like Drake a lot, but I'm sure this man behind this.
Yeah, it's a lot of him like starting shit, and then there's repercussions, like him starting shit on the back end and then getting repercussions in public, and then everyone's like Team Drake. No, I get that.
Right. It is kind of crazy, but I mean, and when you get into the industry, it becomes deeper than that. You know, he's able to play those kind of games. Once you're on like $1 billion deal with Apple, or you're in bed with AI companies, and shit that you do, you can do whatever you want to do. And nobody's gonna say anything. You have the fans behind you, and you have the industry behind you. You're the industry darling. So it's like, if you have the bravery to step up to him, maybe they never were brave enough to step up to him one-on-one, but since Kendrick is like, fuck it, I don't care about the industry anyways, I barely pop out every 5 years, I'm gonna come in, wreck this shit, talk shit about you, open up everybody's eyes, and probably dip out for another 10, maybe even retire.
Exactly.
Yeah, so as of now, I don't know if you guys out there have heard Euphoria. That's the second that came after dropping Give Me 50 and that tailor-made freestyle, which I didn't really like tailor-made freestyle. I'm not the biggest fan of AI when it comes to hip-hop at all. Just being somebody that used to write raps himself. That shit is fucking tough. Even coming up with a first line to have your second line rhyme with in a rap could take somebody 30 minutes to a couple of hours to get the right first. But now you can just AI, write me a song about this. And it comes up with a fire-ass reference track for you, and you can just fill in bars where you want to or make it sound more your wave. I don't like that. Especially with the allegations of him having ghostwriters. You know what I'm saying? That makes it even more easy for people that are rich and famous and are in bed with these companies to go ahead and put out tracks that could be AI, and people wouldn't second guess it because their fans are so, oh, this person would never do that. But
exactly. And you can't tell the difference neither. So,
and he's already thrown it in your face trying to rap his bars over Snoop Dogg's voice and Tupac's voice. He's already letting you know it's possible. And you heard that song come out with him in The Weeknd that was created by completely AI, and people said that it was it was officially able to be nominated for a Grammy, though it wasn't even Drake or The Weeknd.
It wasn't either one of them, exactly.
So that is fucking dangerous, and I'm not too sure where it's gonna go from here, but I'm just happy hip hop is in a place where at first I was like, fuck this, why can't we all get along type shit? You know what I'm saying? We don't see any other genres doing this bullshit. But at the same time, in hip hop, I guess there is supposed to be competition. That's kind of the fun of it, right? I'm the best, I'm gonna rap the best, I can rap the best, let's show it. You feel me?
True.
But let me tell you, I cannot let this go past without highlighting some of these bars from this Kendrick shit. Let's break down some of the shit that I liked. Let's see. When he said dementia must run in your family, but if shit gets shaky, how Parkinson's? Oh, my pants fell off. I don't know, pause, but I don't know what happened. My pants just fell off. I got so excited when I heard that. And then when he went in and was saying, what'd he say? He said, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. I was like, oh my God. He's going in. Everybody gonna start calling him white boy now. But I don't know, man. I just don't want none of this shit to turn violent because these people are saying that Cat Williams, you saw that Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp?
Mm-hmm. I think we commented on that last time I was on here.
Did we? Yeah. So I think that kind of just opened up the airwaves and to put something into retrograde because not everybody got beef stew. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Quavo and Chris Brown beefing. I think somebody's gonna get shot in this one. Knock on wood. I hope not. But the way they talking is really, really spicy. You heard those ones?
I heard both of those. Yeah.
How do you feel? Let me get your breakdown of this one. How did you feel about the Sweetie line?
I feel like between Quavo and Chris, I think Chris took that for sure. Mm-hmm. The Sweetie line was crazy though. Like all the lines leading up to it too. Like don't let that go past your head. All that. Like
yeah,
the fuck out of Quavo, and then Quavo's response, like, I mean, it was cool. It could have been like an actual song, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, but like the way, I don't know. Again, he used like whether it was an old track or whatever. Like he was using AI in some point, and also like I just don't think his lines were as good.
Oh, but Quavo can't rap anyway.
Yeah, but for a singing motherfucker, vibe.
Oh yeah, you already know Chris can rap. So if you get him upset, and the thing about the cheat code about singers though, they already work with hella writers, and it's okay for singers to work with writers. So if they got homies around them that could actually rap, and they give them some bars to rap, it's not like people are gonna be like, oh, somebody wrote for Chris Brown and that's a bad thing. No, because they have the luxury to make that happen. So Chris is going to be an advantage no matter what. Quavo.
I still think a lot of it wasn't necessarily his writers. I feel like he was real mad. And he was like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. And you don't need writers for Quavo. You definitely don't need writers for Quavo. That shit, he said when Takeoff died, everybody wished it was you instead.
Mm-hmm.
That somebody has to get punched in the face, and I think that's what's going to happen.
I feel like one way or another they need to fight regardless. The amount of shit that he talked, especially like shit like you may have fucked my ex, but I fucked your girl while you like.
And YG catching strays for no reason. Like, why y'all talk about my girl? He probably shoot both of y'all. So y'all be yeah.
They left YG the fuck out of that.
Yeah. Leave YG far away. Don't even mention none of that.
Out that thing. But even then, like Chris for a singing motherfucker, like he
beating people's ass.
Yeah, lightweight crazy. So yeah. Quavo talking shit was nuts. But also the fact that he put in that little snippet of whether it was AI or not, the little snippet of the voicemail.
Oh no, that's not AI. He called him.
I was like,
because niggas have to come to LA, and that's where Chris Brown is huge in. So it's
even if it wasn't AI, like one way or another, but the fact that it wasn't is 20 times worse. But in general, like still to open with that, he already killed it. So it was like
Yeah, yeah.
And Sweetie wasn't, when she was talking, like responding to both of them, she wasn't talking shit about the Chris Brown part. She was talking mad shit when Quavo responded that he can make a model
Oh yeah.
like a Sweetie out of whatever. And when she posted his screenshot, bro, done. Like, there's no response after that. She already posted your screenshot, jumping in her DMs. You wrong.
Yeah, it's over with. Yeah, the song was cool though, and having that I don't know. Me personally, I think he used that as a way to promote a song that he had in the tuck. He had that chorus already ready with Takeoff, put it in there. I don't know. That one's not gonna last too long. I think again they're gonna end up fighting somewhere because they both be outside, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I
they
see that
gonna.
body and like, because there's no way, like, one, like, just in general, the shit that was said on both ends, there's no way that you don't fight and that people still take either one of y'all seriously. So like, you have to. Like, you talked about his dead nephew.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he talked about X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So it's like there's no way that like you can't let this go without fighting.
No
And
records. Yeah, it's over with.
like Chris Brown gonna catch him eventually.
Yeah, and people, yeah, I'm telling you, everything is in LA, and Chris Brown has been an LA staple for a long time. Catch you at an award show or some bullshit, it's gonna be bad for you. At a basketball event, at a Lakers game or some shit, Quavo sitting courtside and get extorted outside. I don't know. I'm just kidding, Quavo. You might be on your shit too, but Quavo do also. He probably got a whole bunch of young niggas in Atlanta that hey, y'all want a little record deal? Come ride for me and do some bullshit. He was actually already posting shit like that on Instagram, kind of insinuating that kind of shit.
I believe.
Yeah, and yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just don't want no violence, but they talk. I mean, if they got to fight, fight. But they be saying some shit that can get somebody shot. That's more. That's more than fighting.
Exactly. Like, if anything, I say that like end it by fighting, like one good clean fight, call it a day. Let the beef die, I guess. Like, it's mad crazy to still be mad about crew chief.
That is
Like,
crazy as fuck, though. That is crazy. And Chris, like these niggas can get any girl in the world. Why the fuck are they worried about this shit? It's
hey,
just
but
kind of crazy.
I forget which one of Chris's baby mamas, but one of them look exactly like crew chief. So it's like,
Oh yeah, he's stuck in that. Yeah, he's stuck in that little.
that one, when Quavo was talking to her, that hit his soul, and he's like,
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing about Quavo though. He probably didn't care, but then once he got bodied on wax by an R&B dude, he was like, "Fuck, now I gotta."
"Now I gotta respond."
Yeah, now I gotta do something about
Like,
this.
man, I didn't even like her all like that, but damn, all right.
Exactly, because I mean, Sweet, I don't want to say I don't remember Sweetie really much before she got with Quavo, to be 100% honest.
I do. I feel like she had like a couple of her Icy Girl songs that came out,
Okay.
and then she got with Quavo, and then,
Hmm.
but like, I mean, no shade to her. I think she's cool or whatever. She's from SAG. Like, shout out her. Good job. But her songs after the fact.
But she has to be doing something right because she's like a promotional goddess. Like every
Yeah,
commercial, every fucking.
but that's because her name's still out there and she's still bad as hell. But like, if you listen to her more recent songs, I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie, like they're not all that. You know
I
what I
couldn't even
mean?
tell
Like,
you. I couldn't tell you a Sweetie lyric. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's I
exactly.
like.
Like,
I like something like that. My type. My type. That's.
yeah, there you go. I was like, what's on that? But, like, she had like a couple, like she had that song, like My Type was cool. That one came out. People were really fucking with that. But then I think that her music more recently, like there's a couple of songs I seen her drop that I tried to listen to,
Try to listen.
and it wasn't something that I would like ever play more than once. Like, I heard it, cool, know what it is. It wasn't good. It wasn't great. It was more like annoying. Like,
It's over.
yeah, but as like a social media, I guess, like presence, like that's why she gets a lot of promotions, because she is really pretty. Like, she seems chill, like whatever. So she does get more promotions, but nah, the fact that he opened up talking about Karuchi killed me, because
Yeah.
she don't care about none of them.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
She like,
Nope.
keep me. I think I saw somebody on like TMZ or something trying to interview her off a plane, and she was like, I haven't heard it. Don't like she didn't
How
have
the fuck they find her off a plane?
yeah, they were waiting outside the plane for her. And like
That's nuts.
legitimately she didn't want to talk about nothing. She didn't care about shit. She's like, look, I really don't care. I haven't listened to it. Like I don't want nothing to do with
Is
it.
she still with Quavo right now?
No.
Oh, what? Yeah, why would you care anything about any of that shit? Yeah.
I think she was with, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think she was with I think that his little interaction with her was before him and Sweetie too.
Yeah. I remember. I thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
this was a minute ago. But when he was talking about that elevator scene, when Chris was talking about that elevator scene, I was like,
Yeah. Over Xbox.
yeah, like you can do whatever you want about like a crackhead Michael Jackson or whatever the hell you may say, but you can't talk about him beating Rihanna and then him bring up the fact that I know you're not talking. We seen that video of you in the elevator, like,
And I don't understand what is crackhead Michael Jackson is that an insult? I mean, yes, a crackhead, but Michael Jackson, put somebody on Michael Jackson level is kind of a compliment as well.
exactly.
And every big star pretty much did drugs back in there.
Everybody was on some shit. Like I'm sure that Michael Jackson himself was on some shit. You know what I mean?
Man.
Violent for a while. So like
And plus, you guys sip lean. Lean is pretty much liquid heroin, which makes you also a crackhead.
so I know you're not talking today. So that one took me out though. But even when I heard Quavo's response, it still wasn't shit.
Yeah, the beat was kind of cool though, and the chorus
The
was
beat was cool.
pussy.
Yeah, like he could have made like an actual song out of this shit. I give him that. But like so he definitely could have made a song out of it, but lyrically, like there's no like I understand he had to respond, but I wouldn't have responded.
Yeah. Or at least took a little time to make some, or
Yeah, like unless my shit was fire, I'm not responding to shit.
some shit like that. You gotta at least get somebody that don't like him as well and do a collaboration song. But if you going against Chris right now, the hit maker, you gotta do something.
Exactly. But for him to put like Takeoff in it too, I was like,
yeah. They look a little bit more like a little bit more promotional, kind of like marketing, trying to get people to buy the song, rather than look at what Quavo is saying type thing. Because I know nobody goes to fucking Quavo for lyrics. He was dissing Chris Brown with ad libs. Shit was crazy. Let's talk a little bit more positivity, I guess.
Okay.
Springtime. Got anything planned? We're on the music tip. There's a bunch of concerts that are all over. A lot of people going on tour. Party Next Door, Gunna, Bryson Tiller. Everybody's out. You have anything planned for this spring, this summer that you're excited for?
I mean, I'm always excited for the girl time, and I like to do my family time with the girls and all their kids and stuff. That's always fun.
Yeah.
But we do try to keep like a girls' night here and there. Probably go out this weekend, Cinco de Mayo, and all that.
Oh, that's this weekend? Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Miles this weekend, so we will probably be outside a little bit. But I think we were talking about possibly going to a Meg Thee Stallion concert coming up. We're talking about that with the girls. We're looking at maybe a festival in Sac. That's not an indefinite thing, but yeah, I mean we're not going outside too much this summer, spring or not, because me and a bunch of the girls' birthdays are in late fall. So
yeah.
We are doing trips for that instead.
Keeping it light. I feel that for sure. I got to get to one of these concerts, man. If you guys know me when it comes to R&B, Bryson Tiller and Party Next Door, Brent Faiyaz, that kind of genre is kind of my alley. I'm all day with it. You never know when Bryson Tiller's going to go back on tour, but I actually have a doctor's appointment. I was going to go out there in San Diego with Veronica to a Bryson Tiller, but I'm trying to see if I can do the Party Next Door one. They have one out there as well. In San Diego. I'm trying to see Party Next Door because you never know when he gonna be on tour again either, man. But Gunna is one of my favorite artists too. I'm trying to see him as well. It's too much shit, and all these concerts be hella money. Hella money. They said Party Next Door is like $250 right now.
Really? Yeah, no, dude, the Drake concert. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know if I can spend that much money.
The Drake concert was ugly. The price, I mean, I didn't pay for it, but the price was ugly for sure. luckily that was a birthday present, but that thing was not cheap. I know that for facts.
And it's probably an incredible show though.
It was a great show. It was good. Everybody was there, so I had like all my girls there, so it was fun. But yeah, we've been looking at more festivals and stuff like that, but I think our main focus is traveling.
Hell yeah, get out there. Yeah, just came back from Mexico. I think I'm gonna book a cruise for this August sometime. Do a little cruise on Carnival.
That's in October for my birthday, you and Veronica.
Where you guys? What do you guys? Well, we'll talk about that off here. We ain't trying to give away the destinations and shit. But I'm down. I'm down to get out, man. I work from home and shit like that, so I'm never really out of the house. So I'm trying to do stuff and get it popping. You already know I'm gonna be at all the Comic Cons and shit this year. I'm trying to travel a lot, even though I missed a whole bunch of them. I don't know how I feel about traveling to Chicago and New York and shit for conventions. No diss to y'all places out there, but I don't know if I'm ready for that cold, that environment. It's kind of rugged out there, you feel me? It's like survival of the fittest type shit, and I don't know if I'm the fittest quite yet.
I feel that. I mean, New York is definitely one of our destinations this year in the winter for the holidays. You know, that whole Home Alone vibe with the big tree type shit.
I can't wait for the holidays, yeah.
Yeah, like we trying to see all that. But no, yeah, I get it. Like a lot of places when people are like, let's go, I'm like, it's lightweight cold. I don't know about that.
And where we staying at? Like, what's the like? I didn't even know the environments. They have to, yeah. But let me see. For those who are staying in, I want to just kind of talk about some of the. You want to take a walk with me to Cinema Corner? Let's take a little walk. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we here at Cinema Corner where I like to let you guys know what we watching, some shit that I did watch, some shit to suggest you guys to watch. Because you be sitting out there at home, you got hella apps and you don't know what to put on necessarily. You want to start something to watch for, we got that for you. I suggest everything, not just music, not just sports and shit, but this movie shit, I do this shit too. So let's firstly talk about this cartoon. I know you probably don't watch cartoons and shit like that, but let me geek out for like 15 minutes. Not 15, that's too long. 2 minutes. You do?
I do.
Okay. X-Men 97. The revamping of the X-Men cartoon from the 90s. The new season started, I want to say maybe like episode 7, so I want to say 7 weeks ago. It revamped the 90s cartoon and started exactly from where it left off back then. So this was really hype for us MCU fans because we're using this cartoon to ingratiate the X-Men into what we know as the MCU now. So the cartoon has been pretty epic. It's did a good job of bridging the 90s and the 2000 whatever we are now 2024s using not pop culture, political topics as far as, because X-Men, they always treated the mutants like minorities and everybody else sees the mutants as evil people and they kind of are all prejudiced against the mutants type shit. So they really did use that concept and bring it into today's terms. Brought back a lot of Easter eggs, did the art all over again. We've seen some very emotional scenes throughout this season. Episodes 7 and 8, I think 8 just dropped. Episode 8 out of 10. And it's shown us some shit, really emotional shit. People have died. People's favorite characters have died. We've seen these cartoons get emotional. We've seen Magneto and Rogue make out and kiss. We never thought that Rogue and Magneto had a relationship, did we? Maybe the people in the comics actually did that really read comics back in the day. But, I'm kind of new to this shit, so let me live, all right? But yeah, it's been great. If you guys haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus now. Again, it's episode 8. It's a 3-part finale too, so catch up while you can. If you like Wolverine, you like Cyclops, Jean Grey, the Beast, Nightcrawler, Gambit, any of them motherfuckers that you used to watch when you was little, all the motherfuckers is back now. So go check that shit out. Let's throw one out. What you watching right now?
I don't know, but I need to watch that one. I need to catch
epic. Yeah, absolutely. You can watch it all. You can binge it because all that shit's out. You know what I mean?
I'm a big MCU person, so I definitely have to binge that one.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I don't know. I've been rewatching. I've been more so rewatching seasons. I've been big on my Big Bang Theory again.
Okay.
All that. I think it was like my moment where I wanted to rewatch stuff because I feel like I was watching a bunch of movies and randomness, and it wasn't given what it should have given. So I started watching other stuff, and then there was a lot of shows. Like I caught up on everything, like The Witcher and all that other stuff.
Oh, I tried. Where am I at? Season 2, I think. Maybe
Really,
3.
it's not bad once you get into the swing of it. This last season started off slow, so I caught back up on that too. Yeah, just catching up on shows, trying to see how everything's going. I do need to check out that X-Men though, because I know
I,
Wolverine and Deadpool's coming out.
oh
And
yeah. That's the trailer I'm gonna get into after this. But yeah, I do definitely watch a lot of the sitcoms. Big Bang Theory, I have to check out. I during my time at home, I binge watched pretty much all those type of sitcoms. I watch or those type of shows. I watched The Community. I watched all of that shit. I watched all of Arrested Development. I
Mhm.
watched all of not Parks and Rec. I didn't watch all of Parks and Rec, but I did the Breaking Bad. I watched all of Better Call Saul.
Mhm.
Yeah, I watched all of Jamie Foxx show.
Okay.
I've watched so much shit just from beginning to end just to check it out. I watched the Upshaws. If you guys haven't seen that on Netflix, I talk about that a lot. It's at season 6 now. I don't know how the fuck they got to season 6 so fast, but it's like season 6. But speaking of that Deadpool trailer, Deadpool Wolverine, you seen the trailer?
I did see the trailer.
Are you excited for the movie?
I'm excited for the movie just because I do love Deadpool's dark humor and
Yeah.
everything. I'm big on all superhero movies, anything like that. Deadpool, I do like the darker side of it. It'll be interesting to see Wolverine back in it,
Hell
though.
yeah. Mhm.
Um, I thought they ended that with Wolverine. I thought they were,
In Logan.
yeah, and Logan. There we go. Like I thought they just like were cutting it there. I did see in the trailer that like his claws were cut off. They're like down to like the
Whiskey dick. That's what they
yeah,
call it.
exactly. I mean, but I'm excited to watch it. I did see that trailer though. I'm excited to see that. I feel like it'll be a good one.
Yeah, it'll be kind of cool. It'll be cool because they've been teasing a whole bunch of cameos, like everybody from every MCU or past Fox movie that wasn't MCU yet that you've seen. All the X-Men, Daredevils, all those people are making cameos. You got his wife, what's his name? I always forget his name when I'm talking about it. What's the guy? Ryan Reynolds' wife, Blake Lively,
Mhm.
is in it as Lady Deadpool. You got Taylor Swift that Sparkles is supposed to be in it as a rumor. You have everybody supposed to be in it, and the fact that it's a rated R MCU movie that he can cuss, do whatever he wants, make masturbation jokes, cut people's heads off, and just to see Wolverine being able to do that as well is going to be cool. And just to see how it ties into the more so MCU now, Phase 5, Phase 6, that we actually need to move forward a little bit. All these other past shits that we've been seeing seeing TV show wise, we've been kind of lame and kind of slow, kind of leading up. We saw Loki season 2 kind of give us a big bang at the end, seeing him turn into that tree, being the king of stories or whatever he fucking turned into. But after that, it's like, what the fuck is happening? We've been waiting for hella long for Deadpool after the strike and it getting pushed back and all that other shit. So hopefully it comes out. It's gonna be epic. It looks like they're using the story from Loki, the TVA, using Deadpool to go to back in time to probably kill a whole bunch of people that were in past Fox like shows and shit that he's probably gonna have to pick off and just kind of write the universe. We saw Wolverine's universe was fucked up from some shit that he did, so I think maybe he uses Wolverine from that universe to go back and clear up some shit. We gonna see. It's gonna be interesting. That comes out, I think, sometime in June. Sometime in June.
So yeah.
But I've been watching this show also on HBO Max. It's called The Sympathizer. The Sympathizer. Oh, whatever it is called, The Sympathizer. I thought it was called The Sympathizer yesterday, and I was telling Paul it was called The Sympathizer, but it's called The Sympathizer. What the fuck ever. But it's pretty much produced by Robert Downey Jr. It's about this half Vietnamese and half French dude who is playing a spy who's working with the CIA to work with South Korea, but really he is a Viet Cong as a double agent faking working with the CIA and whatever side of Korea was the good side. I don't really remember exactly, but either way, it was Vietnam and not Korea. Did I say Korea? I meant to say Vietnam. But yeah, either way it goes, it's interesting because Robert Downey Jr. plays like 4 different characters. It's a mind fuck. It's just kind of crazy seeing this dude kind of navigate his way as being a double agent and working for the Viet Cong, but at the same time working for the CIA and the other side faking. And it's crazy. It throws you for loops, does flashbacks, spin backs, and all that kind of shit. So check it out on HBO Max. Sugar, I always talk about that too on Apple TV Plus with Colin Farrell. I think there's a lot of shit coming out this week too, May 4th. Something in my head tells me May 4th or May 3rd, something good is coming out. So look out Netflix or something. The Boys, June 26th, 23rd. I don't know if you watch The Boys on HBO or on Prime. You do? The new season coming out, I believe, June 26th, season 4. I don't know if you watched the Gen V that was leading up to this, but it shit's getting crazy, bro. Like, how do you feel about The Boys and the different spin on superhero shows?
I mean, the reason why I gravitated towards The Boys and Gen V was because it was way darker than most superhero movies, like, or shows in general. There was a couple times I had to force myself to get back into The Boys. I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple times I wanted to fall off.
Oh yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, like some of the times I kind of like wasn't that into it. Gen V was actually really good though. I'm excited to see where they take that one.
Oh, actually, I think they might fucking cancel it because dude died. Remember?
Oh yeah, he died, but he died recently. I think didn't they not record some of it beforehand?
They were gonna start. Well, yeah, they must have recorded, but I think they might not put it out just because of his death or some weird thing that they're gonna delay because of his death. He got in a car accident. I don't know exactly how the car accident happened, but he passed away.
He died recently.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But the show was really good, and he had a cool ass power. He had like that levitation can control metal or some shit, or was it telepathy? I don't know. One of those.
Something like that.
Yeah, but The Boys is epic. It shows shit that you would never see on any other superhero show and situations and like it's crazy shit. Racism, all the undercover stuff that should exist in superhero places. It's not all peaches and cream, but they show you that side. How they could be fucked up individuals, egomaniacal, and don't give a fuck about humans. We saw somebody run through somebody's girlfriend. That shit was nuts. And that was like the first scene of the show. That shit was crazy. You saw somebody, you'll see the weirdest shit, like this gay couple having sex and this guy getting small because he can shrink and going into his penis and then expanding on accident when he sneezes and then blowing his whole shit up. Yeah, you'll see some crazy shit. It's not for the weary, but that show is coming out again, season 3, I believe. If not season 4. I don't remember exactly. Maybe season 4. But lastly, just a couple of things to ramble off. Good Times, Black Again is a Good Times spinoff as a cartoon on Netflix. If you want to be, humored, go check that out. Even though a lot of people are saying it's hella stereotypical Black, and it has nothing to do with the actual Good Times, and it makes a mockery of it. I thought it was kind of funny and had like its own little meanings to it and gave a little social cues and shit like that. But if you like that type of shit, go check it out. And Rebel Moon Part 2, Zack Snyder's follow-up to Rebel Moon Part 1, also dropped on Netflix. I would give you guys a review on that, but that shit was trash, bro. The first one was trash and then didn't get really high ratings. And I just gave the second part a go just because everybody be hating on Zack Snyder, and his movies they look beautiful all the time, but the stories are always just hella light and they always just don't make much sense. And slow motion scenes and beautiful filming isn't gonna make up for terrible fucking writing. You got that writers back, so let's make the movie better, you bitch ass niggas. Sorry. I don't know why I had to go there with y'all, but anyways, that's the end of the podcast where I like to let them know, or this is the end of the podcast where I like to let them know where you can find the people on the podcast at. So Chelsea, where can they find you at?
I'm Chelsea Tiara on everything. So
yeah. On everything. Feel me? Hey, you know where to find your boy at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. If you're looking for me on everything else, best of bias wise, we got YouTube, we got a website, we got a motherfucking, what else we got? I got a what is it? TikTok. I don't know how long TikTok is gonna be around, but I got best of bias on TikTok with that shit too. So holla at me. Shut the fuck up, doggies. I don't know why you barking and shit. But yeah, it's in the podcast. So next week, I don't know what we're gonna have. I'm trying to have more people on, do some other shit too. We have to review some of these TV shows. We need to have some more tournaments. We need to cook some shit on the podcast. Give these people some recipes. So next time you come, I want you to give a recipe to the people as we leave. Just one of the last things we talk about. Give them a recipe that you're willing to give away, because I know the shit you be cooking is bomb, and you want to give away all your sauce. But what you can give away, we gonna do it. And we gonna have one of these days, because I got this motherfucking, I'm cussing so much towards the end of this podcast. I'm sorry, YouTube. But we got this Zoom here and this meeting here. So we should be able to utilize it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can cook something together one day. We can take the cam and the pod down to the kitchen and get it cracking in the kitchen and really make something on film with these people. YouTube Live, you guys never know. You never know. But man, till next time. Thank you, Chelsea. It's always a lovely pod when you are on. People love you, and I'm happy you're here too. You know what I'm saying? I love you as well.
To be here. Love you too.
Hey, it's the Best of Bias podcast. We're out of here, and we're at that motherfucking theme song. Enjoy your Friday. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell so you never miss a podcast. And go hit up AKA too. Let them know you're appreciative of all these beautiful videos so you can see my pretty face every week. You feel me? But until next time, it's the Best of Bias podcast. And where that theme song at? It's right here. Duh.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias.